This is all happening as presidential son-in-law and senior White House advisor Jared Kushner comes under increased scrutiny for his meetings with Russians and his alleged attempts to set up secret back-channel communications with Russian leaders. This swirl of information presumably prompted the president to alert his supporters to believe none of it, tweeting, quote, "It is my opinion that many of the leaks coming out of the White House are fabricated lies made up by the fake news media." Whenever you see the words sources say in the fake news media and they don't mention names, it is very possible that those sources don't exist, but are made up by fake news writers. Fake news is the enemy. The goal here, as it has been for months now, is to discredit any legitimate news reports based on first-hand accounts from within President Trump's own White House and his own administration. As I know firsthand, since I've spoken with people in his administration who have talked to me, only agreeing to do so if they were not named. Sometimes they did so to defend President Trump. Sometimes they did so because they were concerned about President Trump's behavior. But they were always 100% real people, as are the background briefings that the White House repeatedly sets up, in which unnamed presidential advisors provide information and often fawning prose to reporters. Now, President Trump is not the first president to hate leaks. The Obama White House not only criticized media outlets for using anonymous sourcing, they went after whistleblowers and leakers using the Espionage Act more than every single previous president combined. The Obama administration threatened to jail reporters for not sharing their names of their sources. No, Mr. Trump's not the first one to express frustration about this, but this is the same president who just this morning retweeted this story from a White House-approved channel, Fox, a story that reads, quote, "A December meeting between Jared Kushner and Russian Ambassador Sergei Kislyak at Trump Tower focused on Syria. A source familiar with the matter told Fox News Monday." A single anonymous source in a story the president sent out to his 30 million followers. The president, I think it's fair to say, is not only inconsistent about the use of anonymous sources, he's not a particularly good judge of them. As the unofficial head of the birther movement, which sought to argue falsely and without any evidence that President Obama, the first African-American president, was born in Africa, Citizen Trump provided this investigative journalism, quote, "An extremely credible source has called my office and told me that Barack Obama's birth certificate is a fraud." In President Trump's world, that lie is true, and the purveyor of that lie is extremely credible. And that's really all that needs to be said on this subject. When it comes to President Trump criticizing what is true and what is false, consider the source.